drop, it's a sightless brawler, so that one can't attack alone either. So a very defensive deck. Unfortunately, the loyal Pegasus can't block on turn 1 or 2 unless you have another creature. So he will have a hard time against Javier Dominguez.
Yeah, but Ivan Floch is the #1 seed, so he's playing first, so has this advantage. He's a green-white splashing blue against Javier Dominguez's blue-white deck there.
Ivan Floch does have a forest, does not seem to have a green white source.
Oh, wow, Deserter's Quarters on turn 2. He played that card in his blue-black control deck in the second draft. And yeah, 2 mana artifact that you can pay 6 and tap it to tap a creature. And Javier Dominguez has the Skyguard. He has 2 in his deck and he really wants to draw 1 on turn 2. I think Ivan Floch doesn't have many ways to deal with it, so I think that's the way for Javier Dominguez to win. Plays the Stratus Walk first to draw a card, does have another Skyguard in his hand that he elected not to play, and now swings for 2.
Yep, I think I would have gone for a second copy of a Chrono Skyguard. Ivan Floch has already a blue mana up. He could have gone for a Voyage End in response to the Stratus Walk, and that would have just been devastating.
Yeah,
so
blue Kukota for Ivan Floch. 4 mana, 2 for flyer. Javier Dominguez makes sure to read it. He also has Monstrosity 3 for 7 mana. And it looks like, does he have a 4th land? Yeah, he does. So also Breaching Hippocamp in Javier Dominguez's hand, who will most likely just play a Deepwater Hypnotist and another Skyguard.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's a bit of a waste to play the Stratus Walk on the Skyguard in a way. Yeah, attack for 2. There's the Hypnotist. Also has, I think, Supply Line Crane, Suppressive Race. He has a lot of cards to play out, even though he's on 4 mana. Oh, starts off with the Oppressive Race.
I don't like this. I would have gone for a second copy of a Crow Skyguard. The Oppressive Race, it's fine to keep the Lucrocoda at bay, but it's just only 2 damage, and you don't even use all of your mana by playing it. If you would have played the Crow Skyguard, it would have been so much better. The Oppressive Race could have now gone onto the Snake of the Golden Grove. I don't really get this play.
Sure. So, Snake of the Golden Grove. So a 4/4 that gains 4 life, or a 7/7. I assume it's going to be a 4/4, and Ivan Floch will go up to 20 again. And so already this is becoming a problem for Javier, whose creatures can get outclassed very easily because he has so few, and even his combat tricks are not that helpful. Has another Plains though.
Yeah, this Plains gives him the opportunity to play the Cranes, a 2/4, which can grow a creature. Might turn his Deepwater Hypnotist. Well, I think he's just going for a 5 toughness creature.
Yeah.
But now the Deserter's Quarters is ready, finally, after 4 turns.
Yeah, remember Ivan Floch is on green-white. Even though he has an island there, he hasn't drawn a Plains, and he has 2 more forests in his hand. I mean, he is heavily green, but still, at least he'll be able to use the Deserter's Quarters here and be able to attack with his Snake of the Golden Grove. But if he does that, then the Lucrocota can't be used because he would be tapped out. So I think, no, getting aggressive. Yeah, taps down the Supply Line Cranes. Javier Dominguez reading all the cards again. So, and then dash for 4. Javier Dominguez down to 16.
Yeah, now all of a sudden Dominguez doesn't have much going on. At least he can attack with the Deepwater Hypnotist because the Lucrocota can block. But his only creature with evasion at this point is a 2/2 Chrono Skyguard. The Supply Line Cranes is probably not going to untap anytime soon.
No, 5 mana for Javier Dominguez. As option, still has the second Skyguard in hand that could have seen play much earlier, but he's going for Crystalline Nautilus against Deserter's Quarters.
Yeah, that's a risky move.
Very risky move. A lot of damage though. He's trying to race here.
Yeah, and I don't think Ivan Floch will have the time to untap the Deserter's Quarters, because that way the Supply Line Cranes would also untap. So
sure.
He would take a lot of damage there. It would take 5 in the air. Yeah, I don't think he can actually. He just gotta hope kind of that he draws something to target the Deepwater Hypnotist. I have the feeling.
Yeah. So remember, Crystal Nautilus, 3 mana 4/4, has Bestow for 5, but whenever you target the creature it's enchanted, you have to sacrifice the creature, or if you target the Crystal Nautilus while it's a creature, then you also have to sacrifice it. If you target it with anything, even abilities count. So definitely a high risk, high reward kind of card because its base numbers are very strong. Yep. Whenever crystalline Nautilus becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. The same goes for the creature that it enchants. So,
yeah, tough decision for Ivan Floch here. Can he attack? He can certainly attack with the Lucrocoda, because that one's got vigilance. He does have to invest 3 mana, but if he's only holding cards he cannot play and or lands, then it's fine using that. Or he could also attack with the snake, put Xavier at 10, but that way he's probably dead on the backswing. 6, 7, 8, yeah, he would go down to 2 on the backswing, and that's a very dangerous proposition.
And not too many cards, and he's probably still in his untap step, deciding if to untap the Deserter's Quarters. No, he already drew?
He already drew a card. His hand is actually the only 2-drop in his deck, the Sightless Brawler, and then a Thunderhoof, what seems to be a 3/5 to me. Oh no, it's the best card in his deck, actually, a Broodmaster.
Hydra Broodmaster, so 6 mana, 7/7, has monsters. Well, I kept the Deserter's Quarters tap, so now actually next turn he could create 3 3/3s and create a 10/10. That wouldn't be a better way to turn it around.
Yeah, but I think Javier Dominguez also has Crypsis in hand.
He does, yes.
Which is a great way to get an extra attack off that supply line cranes. He could also trigger the Crown Skyguard with it. Of course he couldn't, well, he can try to target his Deepwater Hypnotist with it, but that wouldn't end up going very well thanks to the Nautilus.
Yeah, he attacks with the Snake of the Golden Grove. Javier Dominguez down to 12. Actually, he's not that far off from just killing Javier Dominguez there, Ivan Floch. I mean, we know Javier Dominguez has some tricks, but that Hydra Broodmaster can get out of hand very quickly.
The problem for Ivan Floch now is mainly that Crypsis. Because for 2 mana, that Crypsis will untap the supply line cranes, block the Broodmaster, and then swing for another 3 damage. So he's very low on life. The 2 damage from the Akron Skyguard, he will go down to 8. Yeah, he has to... Also, another card that works very well against these Earth Quarters is Breaching Hippocamp.
Yep, indeed. So here's 3 mana, 4 mana. I think we're going to see the Hippocamp untapping the supply line cranes. Yep, he untaps the supply line cranes. He also could have untapped the Deserter's Quarters itself. Oh, he couldn't have, yeah. It would still be tapped, sorry. Yeah, it doesn't work there. We had to untap the supply line cranes.
End of turn, that would have worked.
End of turn would have worked, yes.
So maybe he could have gone for Crypsis this turn and then Breaching Hippocamp in the end of turn, but that way he couldn't have blocked with the supply line cranes.
So now Ivan Floch is down to 5. We know there's a Crypsis in Javier Dominguez's hand. He has the perfect answers for the Deserter's Quarters, or the card on the verge of playability, and now it might end up simply killing Ivan Floch, whose life total has not been updated just yet. He is on 5. That Hippocamp untap the supply line cranes. Yep, there is the update. So he needs something to... He doesn't know it yet, but he needs something to protect himself from the flyers. Just an attack from the Hydra Broodmaster.
Yeah, he could think that he's fine. He thinks I'm at 5, so I still got 3 attacks from the Akron Skyguard, but that Crypsis is gonna put a halt to that plan. Is Xavier gonna spoil the fun already? Is he gonna show that Crypsis right away? No, he's just gonna chump block with the Deepwater Hypnotist. The Nautilus comes into play. A fine creature, also 4/4, so could attack next turn as well.
Yep. So Javier Dominguez with his trusty Crypsis, he drew a lot of creatures this game. We have to say that.
Yep.
He doesn't have too many in his deck. Never playing the second Akron Skyguard. Not needing it. Also has another white card in his hand. Belongs to the Crypsis.
Oh, he's not going for it?
He's not going for it. Or is he? There's a lot of open mana for Ivan Floch. 7 total. Reading the Hydra Broodmaster again. And we also have Simon here with updates from other matches. Simon, already
Yes.
game results?
All of these matches are really hard fought, but there is the first game result. Fabrizio Anteri leads 1-0 against Nick van der Halm from Belgium. Fabrizio Anteri is on blue-green with a white splash. That white splash was very handy when Banishing Light took out Nestian Asp. Unravelly Ether took out a Bow of Nylea, and the fact that an early OD of Nylea had given Fabrizio Anteri an insurmountable advantage basically decided the game.
So, here we see a Crown Mastiff was played. No Crypsis for the kill. Javier Dominguez being scared of all the open mana.
Yeah, but he's looking at 3/3 tokens this turn, so he's got to be very careful.
Yeah.
He's at 12 life, so he does have quite a good amount of life to play with. But it's also a 10/10 Broodmaster. If, for example, Ivan Floch draws his own Crypsis, I don't know. He's probably not splashing that one, but you never know.
Deepwater Naiad, Nimbus Naiad could actually do that.
Yep. Well, Nimbus Naiad, Xavier Dominguez would just respond with Crypsis on one of his flyers.
That would be game, because then Ivan would be tapped out and his supply line cranes would have been able to block the Hydra Broodmaster, which doesn't have trample. So now thinking time for Ivan Floch. In the meanwhile, Simon here again with more updates.
More updates, and it's quite interesting. Bernhard Lehner is playing a blue-black control against Sergej Susalski with white-red. So it's a typical matchup of aggro against control. The aggro deck took the early lead. Bernhard came back, delayed the inevitable, had some card advantage engines going, but ultimately he couldn't stop the attacking creatures of Sergej with his white-red aggressive decks. There's something else I want to tell you, and that's Ben Yu is currently having Nyx Fleece Ram and 2 Grim Guardians on the battlefield. It looks like he drafted a pretty spicy deck.
Sounds very spicy indeed. So, as we go back to this match, there was a bestow of the Nyxborn Wolf on the Crystalline Nautilus, killing it. And now Ivan Floch attacks with the 10/10 Hydra Broodmaster, 3/3/3s, as well as Snake of the Golden Grove. So if Javier Dominguez plays the Crypsis here, the game is over?
Well, if Ivan Floch doesn't have anything, the game is over, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But if Ivan Floch would have White Descent in response, then I actually think the game is still over, because Xavier Dominguez would be able to chump 2 creatures with the Mastiff and the Breaching Hippocamp, and then he would replay the supply line cranes, which would have gotten bounced with White Descent. Yeah, but there's not even a Voyage Descent, so that's just gonna end it right there, I feel. Now a Voyage Descent has protection from creatures, so it can block the 10/10 Broodmaster, and the Breaching Hippocamp can probably jump in front of some other, or yeah, just kill a 3/3.
Yep.
Yeah, this way it works as well.
So chump blocking on the Snake of the Golden Grove and the Hydra Broodmaster, and the supply line cranes will kill one of the Hydras. Javier Dominguez will fall down to 6 from the 2 3/3 attackers there, and probably most likely attack for the win. Yep, he knows that Deserter's Quarters doesn't help there if the creature gets untapped. So Javier Dominguez takes game 1 thanks to early Echo and Skyguard, and then supply line cranes dealing the finishing blow thanks to an untapping by Breaching Hippocamp and then Crypsis. So 1-0 to Javier Dominguez, the GP Paris 2014 champion. Ivan Floch, the GP Lisbon champion, not as successful. Deserter's Quarters, what do you think?
So this game, he invested 2 mana to play Deserter's Quarters, then invested 6 mana, his complete 6th turn, to tap down a creature, and that creature still ended up killing him.
Yeah.
I think he has to sideboard that one out. Now seeing the Breaching Hippocamp and the Crypsis, he just has to sideboard out the Deserter's Quarters.
He has to find a card to bring in though. His draft didn't. Yep, this is the match between Benjamin Yu and Daniel Fior. Benjamin Yu is on the right. He has already double Grim Guardian in play, as well as a Fellhide Petrify and Nyx Ram. Daniel Fior on the left. Blue-black. A couple of mediocre creatures so far. It looks like, yeah, life totals are still relatively even, but Benjamin Yu gaining 1 life every upkeep thanks to the Nyx Ram. Yeah, still. Pin to the Earth only negates the Fellhide Petrifier. So it looks like a very even board. Eternity Snare on the supply line cranes being played.
Daniel actually just played the perfect card in this situation. It wasn't the down to earth that's going to be crucial. It's the Sphinx Disciple. Because Benjamin, he's got 2 Grim Guardians and the Ram to gain life, to make his opponent lose some life. So the best way to beating such a strategy is making card advantage. And that's what Sphinx Disciple is going to do.
It's going to be very good. He's also not at a risk of being outraced by any cards just yet, even though the Green Guardians are there, pinned to the earth, completely negating that Fellhide Petrifier. And now, yep, the weight of the underworld not only killing Sphinx Disciple, but also triggering Grim Guardian twice, so Daniel Fior would be going down to 10. If those two stay in play, I see Benjamin Yu just out grinding this game.
Yeah, he's still got to play 5 more enchantments, so there is some way to go. But if he draws, for example, one of his 2 Grey Merchants, he's looking very good.
He has 3 devotion already, so Grey Merchant would drain for 5. There we have Benjamin Yu of the United States on the right. Actually, he did play Porter Born of the Gods in Valencia 3 months ago, and since then he has stayed in Europe and just traveled around. Tried to earn some money where he could, and yeah, he said, yeah, I'm going to go to the GP in Warsaw and then go back home. Worked out well for him so far. Now at top 8 and with a win, qualifying for the Pro Tour in his home United States of America. That must be nice. So we'll see if he manages to do that. Now on 11 life against Daniel Fior's 10. Just a Deepwater Hypnotist. Daniel Fior's creatures are not the best.
Nah, he wasn't very happy about his deck either. I asked him, do you like your deck? He said, not really, but honestly, I haven't drafted this format before. These were my first drafts, so I'm not in a good place to say whether it's good or bad. So he wasn't sure, but I didn't really like his deck. He had like blue-black semi-aggressive with only 1 4-drop, 1 5-drop, and 1 6-drop.
Okay.
So he didn't have a lot of big creatures and 2 sudden storms. But it's going to be very tough for Daniel Fior, especially against the deck full of 1/4s and 0/5.
So 12 to 10 now. Nyx Fleece Ram slowly gaining life. Benjamin Yu has a card in his hand. I think it was the Armament of Nyx.
Yep.
So he can play that on a creature, on a threatening creature if his opponent plays one. And it is an enchantment, so can trigger the Grim Guardians. We know that Benjamin Yu actually has 3 Grim Guardians in his deck. So if he draws it, that might be over. The game might be over quickly. Oh, Doomwake Giant.
GG. That's gonna kill 2 of the 3 creatures from Daniel Fior, and that also means that the Grim Guardians can start attacking.
Oh dear. Yeah, killing Doomwake Giant, finishing so many games here. So
Benjamin's deck looks so good.
yeah. Also, it's an enchantment. Loses. Oh wow! It just does everything, right? You can even tag with it 2 1/4s.
Probably the funniest card on the board there is the Ram, the 0/5, but it works so well in Benjamin's deck. It stalls out the game long for Grim Guardian to win, but it's also an enchantment on its own, an enchantment creature sheep it is, so it also makes his opponent lose life. Works very well with the Doomwaker Giant. A great card in this deck.
Doomwake Giant.
Doomwake Giant.
It doesn't need a waker. Just needs a wake. There's 1 more damage coming in through with the Grim Guardians.
And now the Armament of Nyx could also take care of the Fellhide Minotaur actually.
Oh, it's still basically on chump blocking duty. So Benjamin, you could actually play it on one of his enchantment creatures.
Yeah, and then give -1/-1 once again to the Giant.
That's what you should do. Yep. So there you place the Armament of Nyx, triggers the Doomwing Giant again. So -1/-1. That kills the Minotaur and also 2 life loss through the Grim Guardians. And Daniel Fior now on 5. Facing, he can still play Nyxborn trying to survive. Let's see if he goes for it. And in the meanwhile, we have Simon to give us updates.
Yes, Bernhard Lehner takes revenge on Sergei Suchalski. Suchalski forced to mulligan down to 6. Bernhard Lehner on the play after losing game 1. A Voyage's End in response to Dragon Mantle punishes the fast start of Sergei. Turn 4 Forlorn Sudama, turn 5 Sphinx of the Fanged Coast, leaves him with a 4 permanent advantage, and Sergei is forced to concede.
Alright, so that match is going very quickly. 1 game apiece between Sergei Suchalski and Bernhard Lehner on the top of our bracket. with two of the better decks here. And yeah, there you see another game win. Benjamin Yu takes game 1 off of Daniel Fior thanks to his Rim Guardians and Doomwake Giants. His deck is looking very solid, and he is up a game in the quarterfinals of GP Warsaw. I'm going to go back to Javier Dominguez against Ivan Floch. There might be some mulliganing action going on because it looks like Ivan Floch already has his cards in front of him with the Kiora sleeves. Well, looks like 6 cards? Yeah, 6 cards for Javier Dominguez and his blue-white deck. Forest for Ivan Floch, just an island for Javier Dominguez. And after races, remember Javier Dominguez is up a game in the battle of the Grand Prix winners. No turn to Akron Skyguard. Ivan Floch now has his mana, has green and white. Liked white all game long last time around. Laguna Band Elder on turn 3 to start the beats. He will face off against a Divination, so Javier Dominguez slowest start, but is trying to draw into a Plains.
Still didn't find a Plains. He drew two white cards there.
Maybe it's on top of his library. There's another 3-drop from Ivan Floch. Eagle of the Watch, that works as well. No, another island, but I think he will be able to play a Chorus of the Tides.
Yeah, but the Chorus of the Titan with only 2 toughness, not the best blocker here. And Ivan Floch actually has a Feral Invocation, so if Xavier blocks the Laguna Band Elder, then Ivan can respond with the +2/+2. Enchantment will grow his Laguna Band Elder to a 5/4, and also the Eagle of the Watch will deal 2 damage. Of course, if Xavier blocks the Chorus of the Tides, then things change. Blocks the Eagle of the Watch, then things change, because +2/+2 on a 2/1 grows it to a 4/3, isn't big enough to survive a block from the Chorus of the Tides.
Yeah. If Ivan Floch doesn't have any other creature to play, he will probably still play the Feral Invocation on the Laguna Band Elder just to deal 5 damage and have a threatening creature on the board. No attack with the Eagle of the Watch, and takes it. Yeah, he's playing very well here.
Yep, he could have attacked with the Eagle of the Watch, but he didn't want to lose it. But I think I would have attacked with both, because what's his Eagle of the Watch gonna do? It's basically gonna block the Chorus of the Tides.
Yeah. Here's a Stratus Walk on the Chorus of the Tides, scrying first, as it is a triggered ability on top of the Stratus Walk, before the Stratus Walk even comes into play and can trigger. Actually, there's a Shredding Wind, so he did let him scry, but he did not let him draw a card.
And I think Ivan Floch cybered that card.
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
that was the replacement for Deserter's Quarters, and
maybe.
a very good one, it seems.
Yeah.
Taking out that Chorus of the Tides.
So there's an attack for 5 only. He's thinking about if to play the Feral Invocation. Does only have a couple 4s in his hand, so probably fortunate that Javier Dominguez did not have a white source. There's a Feral Invocation on the Laguna Band Elder. Javier Dominguez is Ikura's Dismissal not doing much. There's a Plains, so can he find a way back into the game? I see a Supply Line Cranes, Breaching Hippocamp, Mortal Obstinacy. He'll probably try to play Hippocamp and bounce. Yeah, that doesn't work either. Bouncing the Feral Invocation with the Kior's Dismissal. It has Flash and only costs 3 mana, so Ivan Floch would be able to instantly replay this.
Yeah, Ivan Floch taking his time here, thinking about playing around a Divine Verdict or not. We know that Xavier doesn't have Divine Verdict. He does have a Breaching Hippocamp. Yeah, it seems like he is gonna play around Divine Verdict. Just attacking with the Eagle of the Watch there.
So we have Simon here with an update. Is the match finished?
No, not yet. Bernard Lehner and Sergei Suchalski are shuffling up for game 3, and that's because there have been a couple of mulligans. Bernard Lehner kept 6, whereas Sergei is currently going down to 4 cards. Bernard just told him that his keep was quite ambitious, so maybe there is still hope for Sergei Suchalski from the Ukraine. The most interesting match, in my opinion, is currently Fabrizio and Terry against Nick Vanderhaan. Those are in game 2, and Fabrizio and Terry has the better board, but Nick Vanderhaan has a Bow of Nylea once again, so kind of a board state.
Right, so here we have, there was a big trade between the Breaching Hippocamp, which got Mortals Ardored, and they traded with the Laguna Band Elder with Feral Invocation. So, but now Ravenous Lucrocoda is a very good top deck from Ivan Floch. He has the mana to make it monsters on the following turn. Ivan Floch has lethal on the board, so there will have to be a chump block from Javier Dominguez. Ivan Floch's deck not the best, but Javier Dominguez also not putting together much here, so that's 7. Yeah, game 3, no, not even a chump block.
Nah, just concede on the spot.
Yeah, why bother?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shredding Wind's doing some work here.
Yeah, that was a very good sideboard card from Ivan Floch. Much better than the Theros quarters, which we assume he sideboarded out.
Yep. So we're going to stay with this match. And a quick recap of the top 8 so far. Sergei Suchalski is 1 game apiece with Bernhard Lehner. The winner there will face off against the winner from this match, which is Javier Dominguez against Ivan Floch. On the other side of the bracket, Benjamin Yu is up a game on Daniel Fior, and his white-black deck probably favored against the blue-black pseudo-aggressive of Daniel Fior. And Fabrizio Anteri is 1 game up on Nicolas van der Hellen of Belgium. But as Simon said, that one's going to be very tricky and going down to the wire. Interesting to see. As we looked at the decks, the confidence levels of some players wasn't very high, but I think Benjamin Yu was very confident in his deck. I think Bernhard Lehner also really liked his deck because he did have triple sigiled Starfish in his deck and some other nice cards to support it. So
yeah, but he's on a mulligan to 4 in this game.
Sure. Still, his deck was quite nice. Also had some bounce. Didn't draft blue-green this time around. And yeah, got rewarded for picking the Starfish highly.
Yeah, I think the best card in his deck by far is Dictate of Erebos. It's such a good card when you have 3 sigiled Starfish. Like sigiled Starfish will scry yourself to a powerful turn, and then once you have to start jumping with them, they actually Diabolic Edict your opponent. So great combo to have there. Also has 2 Voyages in Bernhard Lehner, so some bounce action as well.
Yeah.
A very defensive deck, but on a mulligan to 4 against an aggressive Boros deck, it's gonna be hard.
Definitely, yeah, but it depends. If he can stabilize the board somehow, he could take it. So we'll see. We'll see how these 2 players go. Fabrizio Anteri also quite liked his deck. I mean, I could understand being heavy green, a couple of green cards. He did have a Curious Follower and a small white splash that he could easily afford with his mana fixing. He had a Sylvan Caryatid. I think he had a Font of Fertility as well. So very, very small splash for Banishing Light. With his base green deck, easily can pull off Bant. Funnily enough, which is also where Ivan Floch has ended up with a green-white deck, splashing blue, so a bit reverse, but still base green. But now we'll go to game 3 between GP Paris winner Javier Dominguez and GP Lisbon winner Ivan Floch. Both players at 7 cards. It doesn't look like Ivan Floch has any lands. It looks like he's slumped in his chair a little. I do see a forest. Oh, he has kept, so instantly drew into a plane, so he will be able to start playing his spells. 2 mana Kron Skyguard, just a Deepwater Hypnotist from Ivan Floch, but still decent to play on turn 2, especially on the play.
Another land for Ivan Floch, so if he indeed kept a land light hand, but I do already see an island as well, and a Nimbus Naya.
Yeah, attack for 2 for Javier Dominguez. Does he have a follow-up creature? A Kron Skyguard. He does. We know that Javier Dominguez deck is super light on creatures. I think he only has around 10 or 11. Because he just couldn't pick up any. He really wanted to, but just didn't find any. There's another land. And a Chronicle of Heroes for Ivan Floch. So 3 mana, 3/3. Not the best against a starter of Deepwater Hypnotist. Can still keep attacking. But does have an Artisan Sorrow in his hands for any enchantment shenanigans. Could find a target in Fate Foretold, even though not the best. Target draws a card. Has a Stratus Walk as well that he can play too.
Yeah, now growing that Skyguard to a 3/3. So that's already a big creature, and it's also enchanted with a Fate Foretold. So should Ivan Floch get... Oh, he does not attack with the Deepwater Hypnotist.
Interesting. Could have attacked into an 0/3.
Yeah, he's never gonna block anyway if Ivan Floch attacks. So sure. I don't really understand why there's no attack. Maybe he forgot about the -3/-0. Maybe. Because he's done quite some action. He's already played the Fate Foretold and the Stratus Walk, but he should not forget about that -3/-0 trigger.
So I saw some claps and cheers from the Belgian crowd. So I believe Nicolas van der Halen has evened up the score against Fabrizio Anteri.
Yes, Bo of Nylea did it there. Fabrizio Anteri had Stone Charger Warrior and 2 Ferris Band Thunder Hooves, but he just couldn't really get an offense going, and the bow was active. So there was just a little bit too much death touch and counters and life gain available for the Belgian side. In other news, Bernard Lehner did take down the game. 6 cards are better than 4. He kept almost only lands, but his opponent drew his third one too late. So Bernard Lehner advances to the
so it was Sergio on the mulligan to 4 there.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so Bernard Lehner advances to the semifinals, earning himself an invitation to Pro Tour Portland and a flight ticket. So well done to the Austrian, eliminating the Ukrainian player. And now Ivan Floch, after much deliberation, just playing an Eagle of the Watch after attacking with the Chronicler of Heroes. 5th line for Javier Dominguez. Will we see a supply line Cranes? No, but we do see an attack with both creatures. An attack for 5 total. Ivan Floch with just a couple of lands in his hand. And wants to trade with Deepwater Hypnotist, losing his flyer fairly early. So, but drops down to 12, and now supply line Cranes coming back down. The flyers, again, being a problem for Ivan Floch. But now, I think we will see an island into Nimbus Naiad.
Yeah, Nimbus Naiad on the Chronicler of Heroes, but I'm afraid that Javier Dominguez is holding Kiora's Dismissal, and that could be crucial 2-for-1.
Yeah,
well, it's not a 2-for-1, it's a 1-for-1, but it would get rid of the Chronicler of Heroes and bounce the Nimbus Naiad.
Yep. Does also have Voyage's End.
Yeah, that's even better.
Even better, yeah. Bounces the Chronicler of Heroes, gets the Scry. Now Javier Dominguez can attack for 6. Also has Last Breath in his hand in case anything would go wrong. So attack for 6. Ivan Floch down to 6. If he does, unless he blocks here, which I'm not sure he can afford to.
It's looking like Javier Dominguez is gonna pick up this one. He also has Crypsis in hand, another nice trick to have.
Yeah.
So Ivan Floch will need to draw removal, but in the band colors, drawing removal is not very easy. Maybe even Reprisal wouldn't have done it, because both the creatures are 3 power. Sudden Storm could buy him some time.
Yeah, attack with the Nimbus Naiad, not on Chum blocking duty. I think he's going to play Laguna Ben Elder, gain 3 life, then play the Chronicle of Heroes. So that means that he would have an extra turn. So here's the Laguna Band Elder, gain 3. Or is it? In response, a Last Breath, the Nimbus Naiad. Alright, still 4 life will be gained by Ivan Floch, so thanks to Last Breath.
Yeah, but the Nimbus Naiad is now off the board.
Yeah,
so
he could jump the following
basically
turn.
What Xavier did is give Ivan Floch 1 life extra with the Last Breath, 4 instead of 3, but he killed the Nimbus Naiad in the process. And now Mortal's order from Javier Dominguez, another trick for Javier with Cryptis. Does he already have enough? 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. He's not 9 damage. He actually got 9. If he plays both his tricks, he's got exactly 9 damage.
So just 1 short. If he had that Laguna Band Elder Resolve, Ivan Floch would have been in 9. VC also has a Flat Tide Serpent in his hand. Pretty good with Stratus Walk and Fate Foretold. But for now he doesn't need it. Attacks here for 6. Does he play the Fate? Oh yeah, he can play the Fate Foretold. But yeah, he likes now too. Just goes for the Flat Tide Serpent, which is a nice blocker, even though at 15 life he's safe. I think there was an Excoriate, but I think it might be just 1 turn too late. Now that he eliminated Nimbus Knight from the battlefield, Ivan Floch doesn't have any chump blockers, and it might just be too late. He'll have a look. See what he did. We have to update the life totals to be sure. Isn't Excoriate? Does Ivan Floch have another trick? So does it have a Ravenous Lucre Coat in his hand and 1 more card that we can't see? Maybe it's a way to deal with the supply line Cranes. I'm not sure these life totals are absolutely correct. We'll have this figured out in a relatively short order. Is this lethal?
Attack for 3.
Oh, it's going to be
Mortal's
lethal.
Order.
There's the handshake. And so Javier Dominguez wins the game and the match Also earns an invitation to the Pro Tour in Portland at the beginning of August. Unfortunately, Ivan Floch does not get his ticket. Has to fight, keep on fighting, does pick up 4 pro points to add to his total, has 22 pro points now, and will have to hope to pick up many more in the following 2 Pro Tours, as he is qualified for both thanks to his pro level status. So 2-1 to Javier Dominguez. But I'll be honest, I don't like Javier's chances in the semifinals against Bernhard Lehner, but we'll see how that goes. Benjamin Yu against Daniel Fior. Benjamin Yu on the right of the United States does have a Grey Merchant in play already. Grim Guardian, Scholar of Athreos, Nyx Fleece Ram. The board seems pretty stuck, and Thassa's Ire is making an appearance again. And it actually seems like it's doing a job here.
Yeah, it's certainly doing a job, but it's not stopping the Scholar of Athreos, which is pretty much the permanent that is bothering Daniel Fior the most at this point. It is keeping the creatures at bay, but it's not keeping activated abilities at bay, so that's pretty hard.
So, what is happening here? Daniel Fior has a lot of untapped mana, can use the Thassa's Ire to tap any annoying flyers, but yeah, Skull of Athreos will keep pinging life. Nyx Fleece Ram. I think I actually really like white-black in this new format. I think it has gotten a little bit better, just because such a card such as Aqua Mastiff is really good in white-black. Also Grim Guardians work nicely because you play a lot of enchantments anyway. Supply Line Cranes is also fantastic, and the depth of the black cards really enable white-black. And there's the 2 tapping of the creatures here. And 2 lands only for Daniel Fior. He can keep playing them, and maybe he can start tapping 3 creatures at once. And so much toughness on Benjamin Yu's side of the board. Daniel Fior cannot get through. He maybe has to hope for Sudden Storm as well. Tap down 1 creature with Thassa's, then Sudden Storm, and tap another creature again.
Yeah, he just gotta kill that Scholar of Athreos. That's the only way he can ever win this game. What's he gonna do with his Sudden Storm? Attack for 4 more? That's basically nothing. If Benjamin Yu is gaining 3 life a turn.
Yeah. Another Grim Guardian, shortening the clock. So Daniel Fior loses 2 life. And Benjamin Yu is really well positioned in this matchup. Has all the defensive creatures as well as the long game.
Yep. The only thing that's stopping Benjamin Yu is maybe flying creatures, yeah. But with just a Vaporkin on Daniel Fior's side, just not enough. He does draw a second card, so we're gonna see double Grim Guardians. Both players have 2 of them, but the ones from Benjamin are just so much powerful because his opponent is at 6, whereas Benjamin crawled his way up to 19 thanks to Scholar of Athreos.
So Grim Guardian. So 4 total. I think there were 5 open in this draft. So Benjamin Yu is still at a very comfortable life total, and I think this is just a question of time until Benjamin Yu grinds this out.
Daniel goes down to 5. 5 more activations from Scholar of Athreos, or maybe another enchantment.
Yeah, I heard some cheers. I heard some claps. I see Simon Gertson coming over here from the feature match area. And since it was a very small cheer, I assume Fabrizio Anteri has won.
It wasn't the cheer of the Belgians, that's for sure. Nick van der Haan had Bile-Blight and Boar of Nylea, which sounds like good cards, but Fabrizio Anteri just steamrolled him completely. He was basically never in the game. Mana Acceleration, Boon Satyr, Flyers, a 5/5 Mistcutter Hydra. Then when Nick van der Haan gained some life, bestow my wolf, attack you. Fabrizio Anteri was even nice enough to tell him what the largest creature was to jump block. It wasn't close.
Sounds like a massacre to me. So Fabrizio Anteri moves on to the semis, and he not only secured silver level status with this top 8. It's actually his 6th pro point finish this year already.
Yeah, good job from Fabrizio.
Yeah, sorry, I don't want to rub it in, Moraine, but Fabrizio is having a really good year. Is qualified for Portland as well as Atlanta, and now for Pro Tour Honolulu as well. So Great job for him. As we see the board, not much happening, so I could have kept talking. Just a deep water hypnotist. Daniel Fior's deck is really toothless against the 1/4 from Benjamin Yu.
Yeah, he probably shouldn't even bother anymore tapping these creatures with Tassazahir. Actually, Benjamin is also holding Guild and a couple of more spells, just if it's needed. Now drew the enchantment that is gonna finish off Daniel Fior. There we see Armament of Nyx.
Double strike on the Grim Guardian. There's the 2 life loss, and there's the handshake. So Fabrizio Antero will not be joined by his countryman from Venezuela, Daniel Fior, who falls at the first hurdle just as he did 6 months ago at the GP in Antwerp. And Benjamin Yu of the United States gets the invitation to Pro Tour Portland and gets the ticket. He'll be happy about that. He'll get to play his second Pro Tour of the Pro Tour season. So 2-0 to Benjamin Yu. Well done for him.